you, Pankaj, for starting the MUNA at 6:30 sharp IST.
Thank you very much, Puv. So normally in a MUNA, what happens is it starts off by all of us walking together on the ramp, right? So you have the Secretary General and then you have all the delegates of the state. Unfortunately, or fortunately, whichever way you look at it, in the online MUNA that can't be done, right? So, but on the other hand, I think thanks to the organizing committee, we have got faces or all together in this Zoom watch. And I think if you look at the background, then we have got flags, etc. Right? So maybe not the normal style of having a good walkthrough, but at the same time, I think in the online world, flags is a good indication of how it is. And I think if you look through the screens, the amount of color, the color of the flags speaks for itself. So with that, I'm going to start with the session. So thank you, member of different countries. The topic that we have been asked to debate on is around cryptocurrency. So like I said before, cryptocurrency is the currency of future if you ask anybody. But there are a lot of pros and probably there are some cons, and we need to start to think about both of them, right? So cryptocurrency is something where there is no country, it's not specific to a country, it's not specific to a person, it can be traded across countries. The question is, how legal can cryptocurrency be made? So that's something that we are looking at. uh, Cryptocurrency has low transaction costs as well. So if all goes well, then it's a low cost currency, uh, because it's digital, right? And because you use technologies like block systems. That it's not that I take the cryptocurrency, I buy the cryptocurrency, and somebody can steal it from me. So in that sense, I think there is a trademark that gets mapped whenever the deal of cryptocurrency happens. Cryptocurrency is also decentralized, right? So in that sense, it cannot be deflated or inflated due to choices of central government and what have you. And of course, because it's a digital currency, it can be settled online, rather than wait for exchanges to get involved or countries to get involved, even more specifically. But there are some cons as well, right? So one of the biggest con is if there are no country networks that get involved when cryptocurrencies are being designed, how do you ensure that it's not used for wrong purposes? So as an example, how do you ensure that terrorists don't use it as means to earn money eventually, right? Cryptocurrency is only accepted by certain vendors. So if you look at even from a general perspective, cryptocurrency does not have the acceptance that otherwise the currencies have. I think as we start to look at the cryptocurrency, what is the role of every country and the regulatory authority of that country is something which is going to be debated, and that's the part of the draft resolution. So we have got a draft resolution now in, and that draft resolution has been submitted by United Kingdom. So I'm going to start with UK presenting the draft resolution, and I think it is seconded by United States of America. So they will come in the next and talk about the draft resolution and second it, and then we'll go sequentially, one after the other, as a GSL, uh, with the countries giving their views about whether they support the resolution, draft resolution, or they oppose, and if they support, why, if they oppose, why. One thing is very clear: whenever the country starts, they have to start by saying whether they support or oppose, and then they can say why do they do that. So with that, inviting the delegate of United Kingdom to come and present the resolution.
Delegate of the United Kingdom would like to raise a motion to set the agenda cryptocurrency with a special emphasis on the increasing danger of terrorism and other social evils. Mr. Chairperson, the delegates from the United Kingdom wish to state a concern over the use of cryptocurrency for financing terrorism. A cryptocurrency, or crypto, is a digital asset designed to work as a medium of exchange, wherein individual coin ownership.
Sorry. So I'm going to interrupt Jeet. I don't know whether it's just me, but I barely can hear you. I don't know about others as well. So, um,
Yes, that voice is not clear.
so you need to have clear voice, right? Otherwise, the judges and everybody else can't understand what you're speaking.
Is my voice clear now?
Better. Thank you.
Delegate of the United Kingdom would like to raise a motion to set the agenda cryptocurrency with a special emphasis on the increasing danger of terrorism and other social evils. Mr. Chairperson, we the delegates from the United Kingdom wish to state our concern over the use of cryptocurrency for financing terrorism. A cryptocurrency or crypto is a digital.
Sorry, I'm sorry. Even the delegate from Australia has raised saying that they can't hear you. So they have raised a point of personal privilege. Is there somebody else? If you can't, can the other two participants, one of them, present this, please? Can't hear you. And if you see the hands, you can realize how many people have said that, due to point of personal privilege, please stop the proceeding and allow you to kind of get, your speaker or mic reset or whatever.
All right. So I'll take that over.
Yeah, so Yashashvi, if you can do that, that will be very good.
Yeah. Delegate of United Kingdom would like to raise a motion to set the agenda cryptocurrency with its special emphasis on the increasing danger of terrorism and other social evils. Mr. Chairperson, we delegates from United Kingdom wish to state that the concern are over the use of cryptocurrency for financing terrorism. A cryptocurrency.
Hold on for a second. I don't see you at all. I just see your flag. So I'm not sure what's happening.
Oh, just a second. This keeps on happening for some reason. Sorry for that.
And I guess given that we can hear Kirti now, maybe all of you can put your hands down. Thank you.
Are you all able to see me now?
No. Do you need assistance from the tech team?
Yeah, I think I'll need some assistance from the tech team here.
All right. Given the constraint of time that we have, let's go ahead this time and you present the resolution, and then, I guess we'll take the proceedings forward from there.
All right. Sorry about that. Cryptocurrency or crypto is a digital asset designed to work as a medium of exchange wherein individual coin ownership records are stored in a ledger existing in a form of computerized database using strong cryptography to secure the transaction records, to control the creation of additional coins, and to verify the transfer of coin ownership. Cryptocurrency does not exist in physical form, like paper money, and is typically not used by a central authority. Cryptocurrency is typically used decentralized control as opposed to a central bank digital currency, CBDC. But this form of transaction has major disadvantages, which is illicit financing like victim payment, which consists of extortion and fraud, and also include criminal to criminal payment, which is done through cryptocurrency like Bitcoin, emphasizing the fact that 2015 Europol stated that 40% of illicit financing was done through cryptocurrency. The United Kingdom's approach to the cryptocurrency regulations has been measured but has matured in the post-Brexit financial landscape. Although the UK confirmed in 2020 that cryptocurrency assets are property, it has no specific cryptocurrency laws and cryptocurrencies are not considered legal tender. According to the Bank of England, since cryptocurrencies lack classic definitional characteristics, they are not considered money and do not pose a systematic risk to stability of bank ecosystem. However, because the legal consequences, regulations, and status of crypto assets and currencies can change depending on their nature, type, and usage, the Financial Conduct Authority (FCA) and the Bank of England have issued a range of warning and guidance about their use. Recently, on 25th June, Britain's financial regulator has ordered Binance, one of the world's largest cryptocurrency exchange, to stop all regulated activities and issue a warning to consumer about the platform, which is coming under the growing scrutiny globally. The option of UK is that nations should devise on innovative blockchain system to protect its network and information system from illegal operation and mission, and also create proactive methods to counter cyber threats to stop any funding of illicit activities like terrorism through cryptocurrency. The United Kingdom, which urged the member states to view critically their protective measurements regarding cryptocurrency in order to suppress funding of illicit activities like terrorism through cryptocurrency. And if such activities are found their nations, they should take strict legal actions against those people or organizations. We would like to suggest the member state to adopt a blockchain strategy for rectifying problems related to cryptocurrency and also for expanding their market and try to make the system decentralized and make efforts to make the records public and easy verified. Allowing for the transparency, at last we would suggest the member state that are willing and which have advanced technology and in-depth knowledge to aid the less technologically advanced countries that want to develop its cryptocurrency market. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Delegate of United Kingdom. You can now talk to the tech team and see if they can help you with the settings, etc. We'll move on to the country which is seconding this draft resolution. May I request member of United States of America to please present their views, please?
Thank you, Mr. Chairperson. No digital currency will soon dislodge the dollar, but Bitcoin is much more than a currency. Bitcoins are like gold bars with wings. That is why the United States and so many others view Bitcoin and its network as Gold 2.0. It is a radically new decentralized system for managing the way society exchange value. It is quite simply one of the most powerful innovations in finance in 500 years. With this, I would like to extend my warm greetings to Honorable Chair, distinguished delegates of the House, esteemed councillors, and fellow guests. The United States is extremely privileged to attend the second INEONA for the year 2021-22. I, the delegate of the United States, on behalf of our country, would like to share with you our preoccupation regarding the seconding of the draft resolution and the United Kingdom. Easy and confidential transactions, asset transfers, access to credit, strong security and transparency. Well, it is a fact that several cryptocurrency markets have grown rapidly, like Bitcoins, Ethereum, XRP, Cardano, Stellar, etc. An increased set of population now sees blockchain as integral to organizational innovation. They're investing resources in blockchain as a strategic solution in more tangible ways. In the same vein, another study estimates that blockchain technology has the potential to boost global gross domestic product by $1.76 trillion over the next decade. One of the most attractive features of Bitcoin and other digital assets is that one can send anywhere between a few pennies worth to billions of dollars of Bitcoin anywhere in the world at any time for a negligible fee. The delegation of US believes that as the use of cryptocurrency evolves and expands, so too will opportunities to commit crime and do harm by exploiting cryptocurrency technology. Everyday criminals expand and perfect techniques designed to evade detection and apprehension. The illicit activities inherently supported by a global decentralized currency won the gamut. Terrorist funding, selling and buying of illegal drugs, ordering assassinations, dodging taxes, laundering money, and so on. Ultimately, this threatens not just public safety, but also national security. Current US terrorist use of cryptocurrency may represent the first raindrops of an oncoming storm of expanded use that could challenge the ability of the United States and its allies to disrupt financial resources that would enable terrorist organizations to more successfully execute their deadly missions or to expand their influence. In response to the aforementioned, the United States continues to make progress in developing federal level cryptocurrency legislation. The SEC, FinCEN, and CFTC have all played major role in pushing the KYC protocols and AML policies across all exchanges operating within the US borders, and has issued tax guidance accordingly. Several states have introduced laws to enable the use of blockchain. Notable examples are the Electronic Transactions Act of Arizona and the Blockchain Act of Vermont. Currently, the regulations being defined and implemented and the governance around cryptocurrencies and initial coins offerings, ICOs, vary greatly across different nations. This implies the necessity of a global regulatory framework or perhaps a self-governance models in which regulation is largely replaced by global reputation. We recognize the importance of working with interagency and international partners to enhance an already vigorous enforcement plan, regulatory scheme, and policy framework to thwart the opportunities created by cryptocurrency for criminals and terrorists. Indeed, for cryptocurrency to realize its truly transformative potential, it is imperative that this risk be addressed. So to conclude, the US stands for the proposition cryptocurrency with a special emphasis on the increasing danger of terrorism and other social evils. Let's all have wise purpose here. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Delegate of the United States of America. You would have noticed that there are two rings that happen. One is 30 seconds before your time is up, and then, of course, when the time is up. I think USA completed just in time, so that's very good. But for all the other member delegates, may I please request that you could absolutely hear the first bell, but you should not hear the second bell, right? So you got to wrap up in that time. So with that, may I request the member from Islamic Republic of Afghanistan to come and present their view around this draft resolution.
Assalamu alaikum. Mr. Chairperson, we the delegates of Afghanistan wish to state that we support the subject of cryptocurrency being used for financing terrorism worldwide. As cryptocurrency has gained a momentum in the past decade, with the right regulatory measures and strict compliances, we urge member states to help us legalize cryptocurrency in Afghanistan. We call upon the UN and its member states to form a committee of compliance officers to elevate the security system. With the help of distributed ledger technology, all the regulated crypto asset businesses will have to comply with anti-money laundering and counter to financing terrorism measures proposed by a conditional licensing framework to make it easier dealing in virtual currencies. Regulating the application program interfaces that provides the customer identification information could reduce money laundering and terrorism funding risks. Constructions of banks that work under UN along with Financial Action Task Force to avoid illicit activities, blockchain entities who can track suspicious activities with the help of Fast Track Initiative or Financial Intelligence Unit. Regulation of technologies like atomic swaps and lightning channels by FATF and monitoring the same by WASPs as gatekeepers, crypto-to-crypto exchanges and initial coin offering issuers and custodial wallets should also be regulated by the FATF and Financial Intelligence Unit. Since the economy of Afghanistan is unstable in nature, cryptocurrency could increase the economic growth of the country. For virtual currency investments to be implemented, a look at the international policy maker like IMF and EU would be helpful. Implementation of KYC as a regulatory norm for all cryptocurrency transactions, as it is a cornerstone of AML and CFT. Thus, the unaltered information can be accessible to the law enforcement globally, making KYC beneficial for traceability. Interconnection of centralized bank account registries and a stronger mechanism to cooperate with Financial Intelligence Unit. Implementing regulatory obligations on decentralized finance with respect to restricted assets for illicit activities. Customers would require to produce a certified WASP to initiate transaction whose data would be accessible by the authorities on request. Furthermore, Compliance of DeFi with data protection and CFT measures is necessary. We recommend the member states to create a hybrid blockchain framework for securing, verifying, and exchanging business critical information. Like the United Nations Office of Information and Communications Technology and UN Habitat did in 2019, which supported digital land registry known as the Go Land Registry in Afghanistan. We further encourage member states that have advanced crypto knowledge to form guideline policies as well as help the less advanced countries to boost their economy. We define this as a legislative proposal and request the advanced countries to help us review the internal procedures. We hereby restate that Afghanistan is in support for legalization of cryptocurrency and for taking respective measures to control terrorism theft and are prepared with counterback plans for any fluctuation in the market. We furthermore request the member states to support our initiation. Tashakkur.
Thank you very much, Member Delegate of Islamic Republic of Afghanistan. May I now request Argentine Republic to come and present their views.
Hola to the Secretary General and the Honorable Chairs present. We, the delegate of Argentina, would like to support the implementations and policies. Along with that, we have few points to be raised and amended, which are opposing the parts of legal part. Actually, the cryptocurrency is prohibited, and as the part is known as a legal in Argentina. Nevertheless, the government has issued regulations regarding crypto related to taxation and terrorism and preventing money laundering for any kind of unethical activities, mostly for drugs activities, which is supplementing an individual youth plans in the country. Apart from that, Argentina is a regional leader for adoption of cryptocurrency, and it's still making inroads in this regard. As a result of economic instability and foreign exchange restrictions, Argentina becomes one of the earliest adoption of cryptocurrency in Latin America in an effort to protect the saving against inflation and to overcome the prohibition purchasing and transferring foreign exchange abroad, which will help us to boost our inflation, not only to raise the inflation level from 2018 to 2020. We have been in inflation for around 12% currently. With that, we will conclude with the security and investment laws which a country is looking forward to implement. There is no specific regulations apply for the sales of the cryptocurrency and other tokens under
Sorry,
security
just hold on
law.
for a second. I see member delegates from Russia and El Salvador raising their hands.
Okay.
It's a point of personal privilege.
Uh, yes, sir. Actually, I have not been able to completely follow him.
All right. So
he's being too fast. He's being too fast.
All right. So Rohit, may you want to slow down a bit?
Yeah, sure.
El Salvador.
Sorry for
Ria?
the inconvenience.
Sorry, hold on. Ria? Can't hear you. You're on mute. Can't hear you, Ria. Can't hear you. All right, we'll proceed with the with Argentina. Please go ahead, Rohit.
We are sorry for the inconvenience. So we will start with the recession process and inflation, which is currently being boosted to 12% in 2020 and is still increasing. As per the June 2021, it's reported to 14% to our inflation period. And crypto is always a part of, and we wanted to legalize this activity and always set an authority for the bitcoins to classify as a security under Argentina law of security and essential negotiable instrument into which they issue incorporated credit rights. Nevertheless, the conclusion may not be extended to other cryptos token issued by the centralized insecurity to secure the individual and also to protect the unethical means. Following with the part, we have also followed the National Security Commission (CNB) it was issued as a counseling and initial offering ICOs to warn investors to potential risk. The risk might include the potential as lack of specific regulations, price velocity and liquidity risk, the prohibit of frauds and other irrelevant activities, the information which not be necessarily fully secure, and the parties might face a fraudulent activity in transmission of this kind of instruments. So we likely to follow and protect individuals through this means like CNVs and IOCs, and help them to grow and earn informative counsels to them. Apart from this, we will like to conclude with all the activities and will like to support the policymakers, but with few amendments which we have posted. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Member Delegate. With that, we will move on to the Member Delegate from Commonwealth of Australia.
Honorary Chairperson and distinguished members of the committee. Greetings to everyone present here. We, the delegates of Australia, take this opportunity to offer our assistance to all the member nations in these dire times of the pandemic, as we believe that humanity stands the suprememost religion. Having that established, we would like to acknowledge and applaud the fact that numerous member nations have won over the COVID-19 pandemic. However, in spite of dealing with the COVID-19 pandemic for almost 2 consecutive years, the world never stood still. We stand at this committee remembering those who lost their lives and are proud of those who not only overcame but also stand tall today. Cryptocurrency is one such example of the same scenario. Started back in 2009, being way ahead of its time, nobody even remotely thought of the impact it would have in today's time. We strongly believe that cryptocurrency has played a pivotal role in the economic development of the world. The ideation, formulation, and working of cryptocurrency is one of a kind and can never be neglected for what it's worth. Our own homeland made cryptocurrency legal in 2017 with strict regulations applied on the purchase and exchange of cryptocurrency, which are subject to Anti-Money Laundering and Counter-Terrorism Financing Act of 2006. Furthermore, our central bank, the Reserve Bank of Australia, has launched a project to explore the potential use of implications of a wholesale form of central bank digital currency using distributed ledger technology, partnering with Commonwealth Bank, National Australia Bank, Perpetual and Consensus Software, a blockchain technology company. However, just like the two sides of a coin, cryptocurrency also has a flip side. As firm believers of humanity, terrorism is one of the biggest blows that can bring the world down to its knees. We emphasize on the fact that we accept the entirety that cryptocurrency has been a major cause for rise in terrorist funding. Given these transactions are anonymous and tracking them is extremely difficult, giving them the benefit to fund untraceable purchase of arms and ammunition. To help resolve this issue, Australia proposes a centralized circulation and regulation of Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies via the central authority, directly linking it to the government, when no company can regulate currencies, leaving the government to be sole and rightful authority. The clarification and emphasis will be made in the coming moderated caucuses. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Member Delegate. We'll move on to the next Member Delegate, the Member Delegate from Republic of Austria.
Hello, good evening to the Honorable Chairperson, fellow delegates and respected guests. The Delegate of Australia would like to present a policy statement for the topic of cryptocurrency, one so volatile where a single tweet from Elon Musk can shift the entire market. But on the brighter side, at least it makes the trading a lot more predictable than the share bazaar. One of the most talked about but incorrect notions of cryptocurrency, which is backed by many financial scholars, is that it is used mostly for illicit activities. But the statistics seem to disagree, and so does Austria. Many recent researches show that less than 1% of crypto transactions account to any illegal activities, and most of the small portion is made of scam rather than terrorist activities. The UN itself estimates that $1.6 trillion of cash is laundered every year, whereas criminal activity from 2.1% in 2019 to about 0.34% in the year 2020, which shows that the ill usage of cryptocurrency transactions is much smaller than fiat currency, and its use is going down year by year. An estimated 99% cryptocurrency transactions are performed through centralized exchanges following the same regulations as traditional banks. The concerns about cryptocurrency being difficult to track have also been improved incorrect by the Department of Justice, as once data is recorded in the blockchain, it cannot be altered and there is little risk of data loss. And thus, these examples clearly depict that crypto is not a haven for criminal activities, but instead a medium for a wide range of secure and trackable transactions. Austria strongly feels that cryptocurrency is a change towards something brighter. As rightly said by Arnold Bennett, any change, even a change for the better, is always accompanied by drawbacks and discomfort. And so it applies to our topic of discussion today. In the year 1995, when the infamous article by the author Clifford Stroll was published, people believed that the internet would go nowhere, that no online database would replace our daily newspapers. But still, 26 years later, we find ourselves living in the world of internet. Darknet still exists, but that doesn't stop us from using the internet. And similarly with cryptocurrency, we need to find a solution for the ever-existing problem of terrorism and not stop and take a step back in working towards something that could potentially change the whole world for the better. Austria has time and again warned the citizens of the ill effects of crypto and advised them to be careful. We also fully support the Titanium project drafted by the European Union to research and develop to control terrorist activities involving virtual currencies, along with the UN's decision in which the potential for blockchain and cryptocurrencies to help progress towards the sustainable development goals was highlighted. Austria as a country has also enforced taxes on crypto transactions to maintain our country's economy as well as overview the transfers to maintain security and safety. We would like to end by saying that cryptocurrency is a baby which needs time to grow. It may fall sick in the process, but has tremendous potential to change the world someday and become an integral part of our lives, just like the current state of internet. To conclude, Austria would like to say that any country that has a project or an idea to limit illicit activities through cryptocurrency while still implementing no legal ban on transactions or trading through the same. Thank you.
Thank you very much, member delegate from Austria. May I now request the member delegate from Federative Republic of Brazil to present their views, please.
Bom dia to everyone present here today. We, the delegation of Brazil, are in support of the draft resolution. We are at a unique moment in history. Our society is in transition from an industrial economy to one defined by a new set of technologies. Among the latest waves of digitalization is cryptocurrencies. Bitcoin had a market capitalization of $1,072.21 billion as of February 21st, 2021. This is a clear indication that cryptocurrency is a technology that, as we countries, should not get behind for the future. Meanwhile, in Brazil, crypto trading is booming. Mercado Bitcoin, which is the country's largest crypto exchange, has already traded $5 billion in Q1 of 2021 as compared to $1.2 billion in the entirety of 2020. We believe this is a time of new age where digital currencies are rising among the common people and in some cases are leveling up to fiat currencies. We think that during this entire international, we as a country are keen on progressing with this wave. Cryptocurrency can minimize fraud as they cannot be counterfeited or reversed by the sender. To add to that, lower identity thefts as compared to credit card services and lower fees as there is no transaction fees for crypto trading as the miners are compensated by the networks. The most interesting statistic, however, is that 40% of those holding crypto in Brazil earn below the country's minimum wage, which shows how diverse the trading and acquisition of cryptocurrency is, and that is not just concentrated to one specific economic class. This proves a large population viability of cryptocurrency. The utility of cryptocurrencies in the future as both terrorist methods and cryptocurrencies themselves develop is unclear. Nonetheless, several recent advances in cryptocurrencies will facilitate their use by the most sophisticated groups that threaten terrorism against Western countries, and the use of cryptocurrencies will be especially enabling for actors that already engage in transactional fundraising and criminal activities. Conclusion: concerns about the use of cryptocurrency to enable terrorist activities have yet to manifest, but hopefully coming improvements in cryptocurrency technologies will have a significant long-term effect on terrorism. This analysis suggests that regulation and oversight of cryptocurrencies, along with international cooperation between law enforcement and the intelligence community, would be important steps to prevent terrorist organizations from using cryptocurrencies to support their activities. Obrigada.
Thank you very much, member delegate from Federative Republic of Brazil. May I now request a member delegate from Canada to please present their ideas.
Thank you, sir. Good evening to everyone present here. So as the representative of Canada, I would like to put forward certain points with regards to cryptocurrency and how exactly it is important for the world to look at cryptocurrency differently starting today. First thing that we need to understand is that cryptocurrency doesn't just come with the financial aspect of it, but comes with this entire bigger concept that is the blockchain and the blockchain technology in its whole. We need to recognize that when technologies evolve, innovation happens and development happens in the world in general. We need to understand that we are held back by various mechanisms of the past, wherein we are held back with regards to how technology functions, how traditional finance in many ways is limiting. And with this in mind, we need to recognize that when change comes along, we need to accept it. And while we accept change, we also need to accept that it requires stringent regulation at the same time. When we talk about this, Canada is running is one of the forerunners when it comes to regulating how cryptocurrency works as from the financial aspect of it. We do not recognize it as legal tender, but rather as a digital representation of value. And we allow people to indulge in activities involving cryptocurrency in order to understand that how would we regulate it and how would we ensure that proper foresight is being paid to how cryptocurrency is functioning. We need to understand that the only way something enters into an illicit trade market is when it is outright banned. We saw that earlier with cannabis as a drug, and we saw how by legalizing it, it added a lot of revenue in Canada with respect to cannabis as a drug itself. Similar concepts can be taken into when we take cryptocurrency into account. It's not that by stopping or banning cryptocurrency, you're going to outright reduce the usage of it. Instead, you're going to push it into the illicit market, therefore leading into revenues that could be earned via taxation for the governments around the world. Furthermore, we allow for greater usage for illicit activities of similar nature, wherein people who are being used, who are using cryptocurrency and who are being misled, will not have proper regulations in place to appeal for the fraud being done with them. When we legalize cryptocurrency, when we allow for trade to happen with regards to cryptocurrency, we make it a whole entire ecosystem that not just benefits the people of the country, that not just benefits the democratic principles of people wanting to trade in crypto, but also at the same time allows us as countries to ensure that we keep proper oversight on how crypto is functioning and evolving and accordingly make decisions. Canada is very open to how cryptocurrency develops with time and accordingly change its regulations as and when new developments come across. We further believe that this is what the world should look towards, because when you're banning cryptocurrency, you are giving away a great opportunity, the chance at a great opportunity away from us. We need to understand that it is a global system, it is a decentralized system, and that is its biggest asset that can run 24/7. And that is something that the world can capitalize on. And we believe as Canada, we are going to allow it at the best of our capacities while making sure that it is not misused. Thank you.
Thank you very much. The GSL has just been informed that Haiti has got majorly impacted by earthquake. So let's hold the proceedings for 10 seconds and remember everybody from Haiti and assume that they tide over this major earthquake that has happened about an hour ago. So 10 seconds down. Thank you very much. There's also a point of information that has been raised by Russia to Austria. Please, that's a conversation that we need to have. With that, we will move on to the People's Republic of China. Is there a member delegate from People's Republic of China who's ready to present their country's votes?
Yes. Ni hao. Good evening, Mr. Chairperson and fellow delegates of House. The delegation of People's Republic of China believes that the use of cryptocurrency could help fund attacks more easily than it is done today with the fiat currencies. Although terrorist use of darknet markets for acquiring weapons is a troubling possibility. It is unlikely that cryptocurrency would be used to directly purchase equipment for an attack. Instead, attackers in Western countries could convert funds in cryptocurrency accounts into fiat currencies, drawing on either the funds provided by a central organization or crowdfunding, which could be a convenient way for the terrorist organization to supply funding to the attacker. Of course, many cryptocurrency exchanges are subject to banking regulations for suspicious activities, so it may still be difficult to withdraw large amounts of cash. Nonetheless, should a poorly regulated cryptocurrency emerge, it would provide an attractive avenue for terrorist organizational transactions, such as accepting donations or financing activities. The question of whether and how terrorist organizations would use a cryptocurrency system depends on the available technology and its properties, as well as the group's needs and capabilities. New cryptocurrencies may emerge with properties that terrorist organizations find more attractive than those of currently available cryptocurrencies. For instance, if a future cryptocurrency provides better anonymity than Bitcoin for large sum transactions and is more widely adopted than Zcash, then terrorist organizations might be willing to employ that currency for specific activities. Thus, it is important to look at individual terrorist groups to analyze what they would need from cryptocurrencies and compare those needs with the properties of available cryptocurrencies. Keeping these risks in mind and having our citizens' safety a priority, local cryptocurrency exchanges are banned in China since 2017, and our main focus right now is to crack down on Bitcoin mining. China also plans on a nationwide rollout of the digital yuan soon. Our focus right now is on successful trials to ensure the safety of future users. The digital yuan is not a cryptocurrency like Bitcoin. It is issued by a central authority, the People's Bank of China, while Bitcoin is not, and therefore Bitcoin is decentralized. China's efforts are a leading example of a central bank digital currency, and the People's Bank of China is aiming to digitalize banknotes and coins in circulation. Therefore, the delegation of the People's Republic of China stands in support of the agenda for today. Shei, thank you for your time.
Thank you very much, member from the People's Republic of China. May I now request the member delegate from Republic of El Salvador to come and present their country views.
Buenas noches, Honorable Chair and dear delegates. With the prior permission of the Executive Board, the delegate of El Salvador would like to speak on the issue, cryptocurrency and its effects on terrorism. The delegate is more than honored to be a part of this meeting and solve the preceding issue at hand today. I would like to start by mentioning that El Salvador is in favor of the concerned agenda. El Salvador strongly feels that cryptocurrency has the potential to provide faster payments, facilitate cross-border transfers, and enhance financial inclusion, which was also rightly recognized by the
Hold on for a second. I think there's a point of personal privilege from China.
Mr. Chairperson, sir, the delegate of China would like to be excused for a couple of minutes to perform the daily prayer.
All right, granted. Thank you, sir. Member delegate from El Salvador, please continue.
Which was also rightly recognized by the International Monetary Fund, in view of which...
There's also sorry about this. There's a request from point of personal privilege from Afghanistan, I think.
Sir, yes, sorry to interrupt, but I have also sent a point of information to Austria. I have sent it to the tech team, but I don't think the tech team has responded for it.
All right, tech team to note. Thank you very much. El Salvador, over to you, please.
In view of which, the Legislative Assembly of El Salvador passed the Bitcoin law on 8 June 2021, giving the cryptocurrency Bitcoin the status of legal tender within El Salvador. The key driver of the law is to help the 2 million citizens sending remittances back to El Salvador that constitute around 20% of the country's GDP, as the payments typically suffer from high transaction and commission costs ranging from 5 to 9%. El Salvador feels that cryptocurrency can raise investments in the country, as Bitcoin specifically has a market capitalization of $869 billion as of 5 p.m. Indian Standard Time on 14 August 2021. And even if 1% of it is invested, then it would increase the country's GDP by 25%. El Salvador assures that the use of Bitcoin will be optional for individuals and would not bring risks to users, with the government guaranteeing convertibility to dollars at the time of transaction through a $150 million trust created at the country's development bank, Banco de Desarrollo de El Salvador. At the same time, El Salvador is acutely aware of Bitcoin's downsides in terms of terrorism funding and other transparency issues, for which the country recommends the committee to allocate funding to ensure that regulations on the usage of cryptocurrencies in developing and developed nations are drafted and properly implemented, requiring banks to utilize the KYC or the Know Your Client mechanism to prevent money laundering via cryptocurrency, providing sufficient training to investigators and prosecutors in order to improve their efficacy and efficiency in dealing with such crimes. And last but not the least, El Salvador encourages member states with superior technology and in-depth knowledge to assist less technologically advanced nations in developing their cryptocurrency markets. And my fellow delegates, as Vitalik Buterin, the co-founder of Ethereum, rightly mentioned, if crypto succeeds, it's not because it empowers better people, it's because it empowers better institutions. Gracias.
Thank you very much, member delegate from Republic of El Salvador. May I now request the member delegate from French Republic to come and present their country's view.
Bonjour, Honorable Chairperson and my fellow delegates. The delegate would like to present their policy statement. The delegate understands the gravity of the agenda and feels that there is a need for each country to take into account the problems associated with cryptocurrency and hence find measures to regulate it. The delegate agrees that over the past few years, cryptocurrencies have grown rapidly in price, popularity, and mainstream adoption. To put it into context, the numerous online cryptocurrency exchanges and markets have a daily dollar volume in the billions. With such volumes, a link between cryptocurrency and crime is unfortunately inevitable. Talking about cryptocurrencies in a general sense, French people did have a negative opinion earlier, but in the current scenario, people have become more and more open towards the idea. France has taken a number of measures which are stepping stones and showcase its move towards a more central role in the European blockchain narrative. The creation of the French Digital Asset Association in May 2019, the announcement of Financial Markets Authority's experimental regulatory framework in July 2019, and the creation of a G7 cryptocurrency task force reinforced the French government's active approach to creating a strong ecosystem. The first French regulation of the cryptocurrency came in January 2014, the Prudential Supervision and Resolution Authority. In December 2016, cryptocurrency trading platforms and brokers were included in the list of entities subject to the anti-money laundering legislation. Additionally, in 2016, the French government also started working on a legal framework allowing the use of blockchain for the registration of securities. Talking about crypto crime, France has not tolerated crypto crimes in the past, and action has been taken against criminal networks which were trying to commit large-scale international frauds. In June 2021, which is a very recent scenario, France enacted new crypto regulations which mandated that crypto firms be registered. The new regulations take crypto-to-crypto services and trading platforms operating in France out of a legal gray area, and they are subject to the same AML KYC obligations and mandatory registrations as other crypto firms, and disable any anonymous crypto transactions or accounts. In July 2021, France proposed that the European Union governments give the responsibility of regulating cryptocurrencies to the Paris-based European Securities and Markets Authority instead of national regulators. The delegate supports as the member states in their statement about the increased crime due to crypto. And the delegate also agrees with their point that increasing transparency and making the accounts public would be helpful. As mentioned by fellow delegates, the use of blockchain is a great approach, and France does have a few proposals to make, some suggestions for other countries. So it is important not just for European Union governments, but other governments as well to enforce the KYC method in banks, a blockchain-based process that can directly access procurement's corruption risk factors by facilitating third-party oversight and developing central registries for beneficial corporate ownership. Merci.
Thank you very much, member delegate from French Republic. Just two points to reiterate. One is that if there is any point of information, it has to be sent not to me directly. So please stop sending me direct messages. I will not entertain them. And secondly, if it's a point of information that you wanted to be considered, then it has to be asked. It has to be a question, right? Else it will be considered as a chat. So with that, I'm going to move on to the next member delegate. Member delegate from Hellenic Republic, please. Member delegate from Hellenic Republic. Okay, member delegate from Greece. Member delegate from Greece. Greece is also known as Hellenic Republic, right, officially, but yeah.
Good evening, section. So if you want to make real money, you have to follow the rules of real money, said David Gerard, author of Attack of 50-Foot Blockchain, to the BBC in response to European Commission's new set of legislations proposed on 20 July 2021. Mr. Chairperson, we, the delegates of Hellenic Republic, wish to state that Greece stands in favor of the draft resolution proposed in the ECOFIN Committee by the United Kingdom. Greece is a capitalist economy with the public sector accounting for about 40% of GDP and tourism providing 18% of the GDP. Post two bailouts and adequate capitalization of banking systems, in 2014, the Greek economy began to turn the corner on the great 2009 economic recession. However, the COVID-19 pandemic once again threw Greece into severe recession, and cryptocurrency has thus become a safe financial haven as the banks became more volatile and less safe to store assets. As of May 2021, Bitcoin.com reported that the interest in cryptocurrency from Greek women had grown 163.67%, which was the highest percentage in all of Europe in this particular study. Greece has been a gateway to Europe for traffickers smuggling cannabis and heroin from Middle East and Southwest Asia to the West, money laundering related to drug trafficking and organized crime. Most law enforcement agencies have set in place regulations for countering money laundering and physical currency exchanges, but the same has not been done with regards to cryptocurrency. The decentralized nature of the Bitcoin currency makes it impossible for any centralized bank to impose controls on it. Greece agrees to the European Commission's statement that given that virtual assets transfers are subject to similar money laundering and terrorist financing risks as wire fund transfers, it therefore appears logical to use the same legislative instrument to address these common issues. And hence, Greece stands by the fact that crypto asset transfers should be subject to same anti-money laundering rules as wire transfers. Greece also affirms to the chair to start working on expanding their knowledge and understanding of the mechanisms of cryptocurrency, as well as the protective measures that can be taken to prevent harm to the economic health, given the already damaged and fragile economic system. Greece will also begin discussions on the home ground to form a blockchain strategy to be built on three pillars: widespread digitalization, industry creation, and leadership, especially in the Balkan region, by opening a blockchain platform for global counterparts to enhance safety, security, and convenience on a global level. I now yield the rest of the time to the chair.
Thank you very much, Member Delegate of Hellenic Republic. With that, moving on to the Member Delegate from Federal Republic of Germany to present their country's views.
Guten Tag, fellow delegates and Secretary General. To present the stand of Germany on the agenda, Germany reaffirms the necessity of bringing the technical revolution by making cryptocurrency a method of transaction, but acknowledges the dangers that comes along with it. We, as a nation, believe that the technical innovations should be introduced in order to improve the versatility of the currency and make its administration smoother. Germany has recently passed a Fund Location Act, which permits special force or special funds to invest 20% of their portfolios in cryptocurrency. This would lead to $415 billion worth of investment, making one of the largest ones. Lawmakers have also granted permission for companies to issue debt securities using blockchain technology used for Bitcoin and Ethereum. But no thing is perfect, and hence the currency has its disadvantages too. We have tried to resolve the issue of it being an alien concept by enlightening general public and daily investors through various investments made in advertisement and awareness programs. Also keeping the recent Paris and Brussels attack of 2015 and 16 in mind, we feel that this technology is being used for malware practices. To tackle these issues, European Union, taking the German blockchain in consideration, have agreed upon a law which limits prepaid card, requires wallet providers to identify their users, and allow its access to national investigators to information. But this doesn't end here. Multiple Middle East-based terrorist organizations operate their activities and fund their attacks through individual Bitcoin donations, causing cyber as well as physical threats to the world. Multiple attacks of physical, public, suicide bombing, theft, and so on have been reported to be funded through the means of Bitcoins. This leads to an attack to the fundamental rights of global citizens, leading to a global nuisance. I would also like to address the issue of the anonymousness of crypto traders, which often leads to a dead end for the investigators. But with the global securities being added to make the Bitcoin safer, the questions arise on the less noticed Dogecoin and Ethereum, which has now gained popularity due to the social media notations and tweets. These coins have not been much noticed by the developing nations and hence would request their intelligence to monitor the daily transactions taking place, making it safer for the users. Considering UN's motto of world peace, I would like to invite other countries to support the digital revolution and working together to make it a perfect currency. And hence, evolving the technology and currency to make it a stronger nationwide world. Thank you.
Thank you very much, member of Federal Republic of Germany. Thank you for presenting your views. May I request honorable member delegate from Republic of Ghana to present their views, please?
Good evening, Mr. Chairman. The delegates from Ghana would like to support the draft and would go ahead with the policy statement. Ghana is a mixed economy, allowing both public and private sectors to exist and making trading relations within the African continent and beyond it as well. Ghana shares bilateral relations with international superpowers that have successfully employed cryptocurrencies in their economies and wishes to do the same. Currently, the employment of cryptocurrencies in Ghana is illegal, but we plan to change that by introducing cryptocurrencies through the assistance of a three-phase plan. With phase one being...
Hold on, member delegate from Ghana. There is a point of personal privilege from Argentina.
Actually, sir, my team member is facing a network issue, so would like to request you to please just grant her a permission for his network to do.
All right, so the tech team can get in touch. Thank you very much. Please continue, member delegate from Ghana.
Currently, the employment of cryptocurrencies in Ghana is illegal, but we plan to change that by introducing cryptocurrencies with the help of a three-phase plan. Phase one being creating a team of specialists and experts to research into the functioning of cryptocurrencies and have these same experts educate the citizens with the essential knowledge required. Phase two will entail creating and establishing security measures to ensure the protection of cryptocurrencies from illegal activities and creating a law enforcement authority fit especially to handle crimes related to cryptocurrency. The final stage would be to introduce know your client policies to ensure the safety of citizens' money and to avoid laundering of capital. In the final stage, Ghana will also encourage business.
Sorry, let me interrupt. Austria has just raised the point of personal privilege, saying they can't hear you very clearly.
Am I audible now?
Yes, please continue.
The final stage would be to introduce know your client policies to ensure the safety of citizens' money and to ensure avoiding laundering of capital and to use and employ cryptocurrencies as a method of payment as well as for their expenditures. Cryptocurrencies in Ghana are still illegal, and there are a few disadvantages that have played in a part to keep the stance that these currencies will still be illegal, namely indefinite supply of cryptocurrencies that cannot be controlled by the government, which not only restricts the power of the government but also restricts the progress of the economy. However, Ghana will encourage the formation of a blockchain strategy to protect these cryptocurrencies and to avoid crimes of terrorism and would also encourage member states to allocate resources to help build the to help digitize the national payment infrastructure of Ghana. Thank you.
Thank you very much, member from the Republic of Ghana. We move on to the 15th country from a GSL point of view, the last country for today. May I request member delegate from Republic of India to present their views.
Namaste to the one and all present here. We, the delegate of India, wish to state that we are against the resolution proposed on agenda of cryptocurrency with its special emphasis on the increasing danger of terrorism on the other social evils. India would like to start by emphasizing on the fact of India doesn't support the concept of having an unregulated currency in circulation. India plans to introduce a new law banning trade in cryptocurrencies, placing it out of step, and will choose to regulate the pledging. The federal government will encourage the blockchain, the technology underlying cryptocurrency, but is not keen on cryptocurrency trading. India needs a regulating framework to protect uninformed retail consumers, to ensure educate, oversight the government and the RBI over cryptocurrency business. Blockchain is the culmination of decades of research and breakthrough cryptocurrency and security, and it offers a totally different approach to storing information and performing function, especially suitable
Hold
for
on.
environment.
There is disturbance. I don't know if everybody else is on mute. Please stay on mute. All right. Back to you, delegate from India.
Blockchain is the culmination of decades research and breakthrough in
Hold on, sorry
cryptography.
again. There was a point of privilege raised by someone, and then is there a point of privilege raised by anybody? Afghanistan, yes. Go ahead.
Yeah, sir. I wanted to raise a point of privilege that I could hear some disturbance from the side, but then you cleared it yourself. So thank you.
All right. Thank you. Back to you, member delegate from India.
Blockchain is the culmination of decades of research and breakthrough in cryptography and security, and it offers a totally different approach to storing information and performing functions, which makes it especially suitable for environments with high security requirements. Blockchain offers a solution. Sonder believes a decentralized system would make it literally impossible for the infrastructure to fail under an excess of the request. The semi-anonymous nature of cryptocurrency transaction makes them well suited for a host of illegal activities, such as money laundering and tax evasion. However, cryptocurrency advocates of highly value their anonymity, citing benefits of privacy like protection for whistleblowers or activists living under repressive governments. Some cryptocurrencies are more private than others. Much time has been spent learning blockchain and cryptocurrencies in this series. However, cryptocurrency suffers from the several drawbacks that have led many, such as famed investors Warren Buffett, to refer them as the next bubble. As such, it is important to identify, to understand the drawback and obstacle that may reframe mainstream option of these technologies, that is scalability, cybersecurity issues, price volatility, and lack of inherent value regulations. Cryptocurrencies enter the financial system without any knowledge of the source creation parties involved. That this defeats the purpose of law meant to regulate criminal activities, including AML regulation. Therefore, there is an urgent need for the law that addresses the AML, CTF complaints as well as KYC. This will in the least bring the transparency and at the end of the user level and help monitoring the business activity. Hence our stance. Thank you.
Thank you, member delegate from India. Thank you very much for your views, your country's views around the whole draft resolution. There is one point of information and there is one point of order. So we'll start with in that order. Point of information raised by Afghanistan to Austria. Afghanistan, if you can unmute yourself.
Yes, sir. Can you hear me?
Yes, now I can.
Assalamu alaikum. So my point of information to Austria is that when Austria said that it is that when the blockchain due to DLT technologies, all the transactions are recorded automatically. My point of information is that it can't be in the case of Lightning channels. Lightning channels is a process in blockchain technologies where I and, for example, some other person has opened a channel. So in that channel, the opening transaction and the closing transaction will only be recorded, and the ongoing transactions will not be recorded in the blockchain technology. As a result, it is very difficult to decipher the transactions when the channel is being created. In that case, we need to have an intermediary, or else we won't be able to decipher the transactions, even though it is being recorded. That is how the Lightning channels in blockchain technologies work. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Afghanistan. We have another point of information from USA to Ghana.
Thank you, Chair, for recognizing. The delegation of USA rises to the point of information that could the delegate of Ghana specify what kind of blockchain strategy do they want to work on? And secondly, what kind of funds they were talking about?
All right. Next is the point of order from Russia to Germany.
Spasibo, Speaker. When I just wanted to raise this point against Germany when they were focusing on terrorism due to cryptocurrency, they referred to terrorist attacks in Brussels and Paris. Well, for their information, there is no evidence of involvement of any cryptocurrency behind the terrorism. And they also made a point that increase in cryptocurrency is leading to an increase in terrorism. Well, as it was mentioned by one of the delegates, I think I don't remember the country, and I'd like to open the article myself. It's an article from Forbes, which clearly states the decrease in cyber terrorism due to after the increase in cryptocurrency. Just give me a minute. I'll just search for the article.
So hold on. So newspaper articles are not going to be evidence in the United
No,
Nations.
sir, it is a report from Chain Analysis. It is a worldwide known reporter, and it makes reports on various financial institutions and finances.
Yeah, but that is something that can be debated, right? Because a worldwide known reporter for, in case of one, country could be different than case of other countries. So we'll stop there. So thank you very much. Thank you, delegate from Russia. With that, I think we are done for the GSL. I think we will give now a 5-minute break. We'll have a 5-minute break or recess, after which we'll start with different motions that you may want to pass. And we'll do that in a moderated caucus manner. So with that, we will, meet back again at 7:45 sharp India Standard Time. I repeat, 7:45 India Standard Time. Thank you.
Thought I really tried to. Blindsided, addicted. Thought we could really do this, but really I was foolish. Hindsight, it's obvious. Talking with my lawyer, she said, where'd you find this guy? I said, young people fall in love with the wrong people sometimes. Some mistakes get made, that's alright, that's okay. You can think that you're in love when you're really just in pain. Some mistakes get made, that's alright, that's okay. In the end, it's better for me. That's the moral of the story, babe.
Funny how a memory turns into a bad dream when running wild turns volatile. It's not funny how it changes. We ended up like strangers and we burned down our paper house. Talking with your father, he said that you could be mine, but some people fall in love with the wrong people sometimes.
Some mistakes get made, that's alright, that's okay. You can think that you're in love when you're really just in pain. Some mistakes get made, that's alright, that's okay. In the end, it's better for me. That's the moral of the story, babe. Never to have loved at all. That could be a load of shit, but I just need to tell you all. Some mistakes get made, that's alright, that's okay. You can think that you're in love when you're really just engaged.
Some mistakes get made, that's alright, that's okay. In the end, it's better for me. That's the moral of the story.
Some mistakes get made, that's alright, that's okay. You can think that you're in love when you're really just in pain. Some mistakes get made, that's alright, that's okay. In the end, it's better for me. That's the moral of the story, babe.
Sundown and they all come out. Lamborghinis and they rented hummus. The party's on, so they're heading downtown. Everybody's looking for a come up, and they wanna know what you're about. Me in the middle with the one I love it. We're just trying to figure everything out. We don't fit in well, cause we are just ourselves. I could use some help getting out of this conversation. Yeah, you look stunning, dear, so don't ask that question here. This is my only fear, that we become beautiful people. Top designer clothes, front row fashion shows. What you do and who'd you know? Inside the world of beautiful people. Champagne and rolled up nose, prenups and broken homes. Surrounded but still alone. Let's leave the party. That's not who we are. We are not beautiful. Yeah, that's not who we are. We are not beautiful.
Thank you very much. Hope all the delegates are back. So I'll just give a minute so that everybody comes back on the video. So we are now going into the different motions, and then we will get the motions to debate. using moderated caucus, right? So that's the way we'll do it. We will run this from 7:45 till 8 o'clock, and then I will hand it over back to the the organizing committee. So 15 minutes, as many motions as you could think about, but we will have to go in sequential order, so to say. So with that, all hands down, please. Unless Afghanistan, you've got a point of personal privilege.
No, sir.
So your hand is up. Perfect. So with that, raise your hands for any motions to be discussed in the assembly. Right, so we have got 6. All right. So in the sequence, we'll start with Pakistan, followed by Afghanistan, followed by. So there are quite a few. So Pakistan, followed by Afghanistan, followed by France, followed by Swiss, followed by Australia, Vietnam, Argentina, Canada, South Korea. So we will see as time proceeds. We'll give away time as as soon as one motion is done to the next motion. But with that, may I request Pakistan to present the motion, time it takes, and then we will get into a moderated caucus.
Thank you,
Member
sir.
delegate from Islamic Republic of Pakistan, please.
Sir, am I audible?
You are.
Okay. The delegate of Pakistan would like to raise a motion for moving into a moderated caucus on the topic discussing the legalization of cryptocurrency. Total time being 15 minutes, per speaker's time being 60 seconds.
All right. So that means we can only have one moderated caucus, but let's take it right now at this point and then see how it goes. So Islamic Republic of Pakistan, you can start now. The time is 1 minute.
Sir, point of personal privilege?
Yeah.
So are the other delegates not going to second to fail or pass the motion?
So they already seconded the motions, right? I can see the raise of hands as you can.
Oh, I thought they raised their hands to propose other motions.
Oh, is that so? All right. Sorry, my mistake. Please raise the hands, put the hands down and then raise again to see, who supports Pakistan's motion. All right. Perfect. So it's 3-4. Yeah. Okay. So with that, yes, Pakistan, you may start.
Okay. Thank you, sir. The Islamic Republic of Pakistan calls upon member states to recognize the vast spread of cryptocurrency in the past decade and the benefits it presents the world economy by its ability to diversify investment portfolios on individual and national scale. Cryptocurrency is not illegal in Pakistan, and the state recognizes the need for digital money, especially in the current ongoing pandemic worldwide, which has resulted in people losing their means of daily wages and economical falls all around the world. The delegate of Pakistan strongly condemns the extortion of cryptocurrency for terror financing. The ease of accessibility has led to exponential surges in terrorism and money laundering since the cryptocurrency debut in 2009. Although Pakistan believes that with self-regulatory measures being used to fortify the anti-money laundering and the counter finance of terrorism in member nations, this can be curbed and terror financing and money laundering can be stopped and prevented.
So hold on for a second, right? So as you started to speak, I saw more hands go down. There are only 2 hands up now. So you need to have the motion passed as a majority motion for it to be further deliberated through moderated caucus.
Sir, pardon, could you repeat that?
So I said for a motion to be passed or otherwise, and to have a deliberation through moderated caucus, you got to have majority of hands raised.
Yes, sir. We need a
Whereas
two-third
at this point of
majority.
time, correct. Whereas at this point in time, I only see 3, 4 hands. So there were many before, and then suddenly they dropped off.
Sir,
So
sir, may I clarify?
yeah.
Okay, so I raised the motion on the topic being discussing the legalization of cryptocurrency. Per
Yes.
speaker time being 1 minute, total
Correct.
speaker time being 15 minutes. That was the
Correct.
motion, and then you gave me the floor for speaking, right?
Correct. But I
So
was also assuming that that motion that you had presented was being supported by more than, many more than the way I see the hands raised. So that's why
okay.
I'm a bit confused.
No, sir. So see, this is. May I, if
Yeah,
I
of course.
may I explain it? Okay. So what happens is I gave the motion, I gave the total time and per speaker's time. Then the chair will recognize what countries second the motion and what
Correct.
countries oppose the motion.
Correct.
If and no, all the nations have to participate in voting when there's a moderated caucus or unmoderated caucus motion.
So I'm not sure whether all the countries have to necessarily give a vote of yes or no. They can
Yes,
also
they have
abstain.
to. They can abstain in the final voting as per MUN procedures, but they have to vote so that we can pass the motion or fail the motion by simple majority.
All right. So if that be the case, right,
Then
then
this
let's look
motion
at
should have been failed and the other motion should have been
correct.
recognized.
So all right. So let's go with that. Therefore, how many people are for the motion? Please raise your hands. Can somebody help count that for me, please?
We've got 10 raise of hands. 13 now, 14, 16, 17, 16, 17. Okay, so at this point in time, we take it as 18 raise of
Pause.
hands right now.
Okay. And how many are against the motion? Obviously, the motion is failed in any case, but nevertheless, let's just look at how many people are against the motion.
We see 4 raise of hands, 5, 6, 7.
Yeah, so unless you have a 2/3 majority, I don't think we can have the motion pass, isn't it? All right. So we'll then not pass the motion, if that's okay with everybody. We'll move on to the next one. So hands down, please. Now I understand as well how it works in terms of hands up and hands down. All right. So member delegate of Pakistan, if you could please put your hands down.
Salutations. Can I start speaking?
No, you can't. Hold on for a second. All right, so let's look at how many people now want to present the motion. So we will start with USA. So USA, please go ahead.
Hello, am I audible?
Now you're audible. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. So I would like to have a motion of legalizing, but having an oversight over the process of legalizing as a national oversight and not an international one.
All right, and the time you propose is?
I propose 1 minute for each and everyone for 15 minutes.
Okay, thank you. So now all hands down, please. I see still hands raised, so all hands down. All right. So how many people support this motion? So El Salvador. I don't know who's Mada Mohin. I don't see. Mada Moin, are you? So it's just 2 people who are supporting. So sorry, your motion can't be passed. All right, all hands down, please. All right, we'll go on to the third one. So any other motions to be passed? By the way, there's somebody called Madiha Moyen.
So, Pankaj, if I can interrupt, right? So, Madiha, we'd request you to first come in with your country name, and then we will be able to recognize you. This has been sent to you by the texting multiple times. So, without a country name, we cannot. So there is Israel. She's from Israel. If you want to recognize her, then you can.
Okay, which is, her video is off, so I don't know why it is so. So we'll skip her. Afghanistan, do you want to present the motion, please?
Yes. First of all, Assalamu alaikum. The motion that I would like to raise is that member states should prioritize strategic and sustainable law enforcement agencies with a comprehensive intelligence framework for the range of cybercrime, terrorism funding, and a wide range of risks. Having intermediaries for altcoins like Monero, Zcash, and Dash would be beneficial with having VASP, Virtual Asset Service Provider, to monitor the transactions. The virtual currency exchanges need to be regulated so that the altcoins would also be subjected to KYC and customer due diligence measures. And filing a suspicious transaction report, also known as STR, in observance of a skeptical activity. Increasing terrorism can be stopped by setting up independent cybersecurity analysts to conduct risk assessments and virtual currency intelligence task force to develop a view of CFT measures, global coordinations, and counter to cybercrime operations for terrorism funding.
Sorry, member delegate from Afghanistan. The idea is to present the motion, not give a speech, and see whether that motion is being supported by everybody else present in the GSL. So stop giving speeches, and let's look at whether there are other countries who support your motion. So just that everybody is on the same page, can you tell us what the motion is?
So I would like to pass a motion where every delegate gets 1 minute and 30 seconds for a speech, and the speech is made upon the global coordination over the cryptocurrencies.
All right. So before that, there is a point of personal privilege from Australia.
I'm so sorry, but that was before the delegate of Afghanistan started giving a speech. I'd just like to change that, and if you could entertain to a point of parliamentary inquiry.
No. Thank you very much,
okay.
Delegate from Australia. All right. So with that, how many people are for Afghanistan? And I'm assuming the time is 1 minute at the max, right? Because we are now running short of time, so it's almost time. So we'll take yours as the last motion. So can somebody count and tell me how many are for?
So there are currently 8 votes for the motion.
Sorry?
8 votes for the motion.
All right, so that clearly fails, right? Irrespective, I mean, I could count the ones who are against, but yeah, if it's 8 for, then it fails. So I think in some sense, I think, that is very good to hear the different motions that different countries wanted to present. Unfortunately, none of them got presented. So with that and the time, I think, we'll end the day 1 session here. Thank you very, very much for participating. I look forward to, now you spending time forming blog, thinking about the amendments for the draft resolution and giving all of that with the amendment back by 3 p.m. India time tomorrow. And we will meet again starting the session at 6 o'clock in the evening. So with that, back over to you, Apurva. Thank you very much once again.
Okay, Warm welcome again for everyone. I know we are at the end of the session. A quick pieces of announcements for all the delegates. Amendments have to be sent before 3 p.m. IST on the registered email ID, which is given of emuna2122@gmail.com. If any amendments fails to come within the time frame or passes even a second beyond that, it will not be considered. Please read through the important notice that was given on the amendment, which was sent to you in the last week. Please ensure that you have received it and you are ensuring on the block formation. All the guidance for the same has been mentioned. In case of any queries, reach out to your respective advisors. Tomorrow's reporting time for every participant is again 5:30. We observed today that most of you did not have your virtual backgrounds placed in time, had mic issues, did not have your visual arranged clearly, which is very important for your delegation and for individual delegation as a participant. Please note this, that you need to ensure full connectivity in terms of your video, your audio, and that's why you are kind of announced to come at 5:30. A lot of participants joined in late between the time frame of 5:45 to 6 o'clock. All the entries have been noted, and please note that the judges are in the Zoom meeting. Tomorrow we will observe the Independence Day, so please be there on time because we will spend 5 minutes for the Independence Day of India, which is there tomorrow, and that's how we will go about it. We saw that there were specific countries that the registration team will give a name of, which has been passed to the judges who have observed for, sending in unregistered, queries or, asking for issues at the last moment. So the participant and the registration team will get in touch. For everyone to be eligible to get the certificate of participation, please ensure that tomorrow's session becomes a mandate for you to complete. As soon as you complete the session and the committee is put for vote, at that point of time, everyone will start receiving their certificates. So please ensure that you all have, you all are kind of, very much clear on that point. Announcements about your giveaways, announcement about how will you receive it, announcements about, what is the winners and everything will happen tomorrow during the VAL ceremony, which will start. So please stay tuned for this, without which it will be, not considered if the information to you is given by anyone else apart from me on the screen, right? So I repeat, we've come across someone who said that, hey, but someone told me this. We don't know that someone. All the announcements are made at this point and all the queries have been solved here. So please do not follow anyone else's advice for any of administrative matter. And this is what the final call is. With this, I have received a message which says from Australia that can we have a 5-minute chat session informally. So I'm not sure what you mean. So once we end the session, we can call you on and you can address what your problem is. With that, I hand it over to Rotarian Rushabh Shah and Turab for giving their ending remarks. And I hope everyone had a good fun time. Tomorrow, all the rest of the countries will speak, starting with amendments being proposed by the proposing country, by being seconded by the seconding country, post which we will have the GSL, after which we will have the motions on the floor. Okay, and then we will put it to the vote, and that's what going to be the flow. So with that, Rushabh and Turab, handing it over to you.
A very good evening to one and all present here. It's been an honor to be a part of the working of the eMuna. Not only have we learned a lot about cryptocurrency today, but also a lot of different cultures and thought processes that go behind each and every participant and delegate. I have been inspired by so many of you today. The level of debate and diplomacy today has been outstanding. It feels like we are sitting at a real United Nations conference and not a mock United Nations conference. This shows the signs of a very, very bright future of the world. And I'm sure everyone here, whether participating or not, is enjoying eMuna and learning something from it. We have had a wonderful day today and we shall continue our learning process tomorrow. With this, I would like my colleague Rotarian Turab Chimthanawala to take this forward.
Thank you, Rotarian Rushabh. Yes, indeed, it has been an honor to be part of such a unique and intriguing event. It was truly an intellectually enriching and deliberations today. I hope for engaging sessions tomorrow as well. I am sure the participants are not only learning and honing their analytical and oratory skills, but also enjoying and making new friends. Wishing everyone a happy Independence Day in advance. Have a pleasant evening. Thank you.
With that, we come to the end of the session. Thank you very much, Rushabh and Turab, and we wish all the participants all the best. See you tomorrow at 5:30 p.m. IST sharp. With that, thank you very much. All the participants who have appealed for informal discussion, I would like to just inform you that you can have it on your WhatsApp group where all of you can, kind of talk about any of the discussions that you want to have. But we will close the session for today. In case Pankaj, you want to mention anything further for an informal moderated caucus for participants to discuss.
So nothing for now. So we'll meet tomorrow at 6 o'clock when the session starts. So obviously we'll have to join in before that. The only thing I would say is make your friends through blocks of countries. So, start to think about how you can present the amendments and ensure that the amendments reach the mailbox before 3 p.m. IST tomorrow. Most important of that is the fact that for any amendment to be passed, you got to have at least 4 countries. I repeat, you got to have at least 4 countries who are in support of that amendment. So with that, thank you very, very much. I enjoyed the session and look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Thank you.
All the participants can now leave, please. Thank you.